Hey everyone, it's day 2. I hope that you've recovered from the initial shock of the assignment that I gave you on day 1, which was to make a short video introducing yourself, telling us a little bit about who you are and maybe what kind of lifestyle you have or what your family's made up of. But this is just kind of an icebreaker to help you become more confident and comfortable with stepping outside of your comfort zone and sharing your story and telling the world about who you are. I know it's really scary because I was in your shoes. And I wasn't as brave as I am now, and I wasn't as open as I was now. I was a little guarded. No, I was very guarded. I was a private person because I feared judgment. I feared what people would think about me and say about me and how they would react. So my job as your mentor and as the person who's wanting to help you grow, whether I'm your sponsor or your upline coach, is to help you become more confident and help you to become more comfortable with sharing little bits about you, a little bit at a time. That way other people can connect with you. But one thing that all coaches inside of our organization who are working to grow their business, and the top coaches in our organization, the key to their success is that they've embraced the 3 vital behaviors. We're going to go into more detail as this group goes on and as we continue our training. But the 3 vital behaviors are: number 1, invite, invite, invite. Number 2, be proof that the products work. And number 3, personal development. You need all 3, and you need to utilize each one of them and embrace them and make them a daily habit in order to be successful, in order to grow as a person and to help other people. The first one, invite, 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 is a little confusing, and that's why we're going to go into more depth as this training goes on so that you can understand what this means and the concept and what it entails. But what I ask you to do is replace invite, invite, invite with connect, connect, connect. So the way we connect with other people is sharing our story. And you're not going to connect with everybody out there in the world, but you're going to connect with people who maybe share the same lifestyle, the same everyday activities that you go through. Maybe it's somebody who has the same amount of kids as you, or shares the same struggles that you've had since maybe childhood or early adulthood. And this is who you are going to gear yourself to making the post for. This is who you're going to want to connect with. You're going to want to find your audience. The best way to do this is to share who you are. Again, you cannot expect everybody to be your biggest fan, but you're going to find people who are intrigued because they have some sort of connection with you. They're not going to have a connection with you if you don't openly share it. And I'm not saying you have to bare your soul or tell all of, your whole life story tomorrow or today or even next week or next month. But little by little, put, one toe outside of that comfort zone and get there. So today we're going to talk about your why. Your why is what propels you forward. It's what makes you get up out of bed every morning. It's what makes you push play when you don't want to. It's what makes you make a healthy choice. It's what makes you share information about yourself that you may have never shared with anybody or never dreamt of sharing publicly. So a lot of people we ask when we, get them signed up as a coach is, what's your why? And a lot of people say, because I want to help people. Well, a lot of us are, like me, they're fixers. They want to help people. They maybe work right now and have a career in the service industry as a nurse, as a doctor, as a EMS or firefighter or teacher, or, work in, rehabilitation. But that is not your core purpose. That is not your why. That is not your driving force. That's just something, a goal. Your why is what makes you go. So for me, in the beginning, my goal of why I started this journey in health and fitness was for my own sake. It was for a vanity reason. I was tired of having a muffin top. I was tired of being embarrassed in my body. I was tired of feeling uncomfortable when I walked across the room to the shower in bra and panties or underwear. I was tired of brushing my teeth and seeing my arm jiggle. I was tired of tirelessly searching for that outfit or that bathing suit that hid as much of me as possible but didn't make me look like an old lady. That was my original why. When I became a coach because I thought, well, I might as well. My coach thinks that I could do this. I gave her every excuse in the book as to why I couldn't coach. And she had a rebuttal for each one. She didn't really argue with me, but it was like, well, I've come up with reasons to say no. Let's just give this a shot. And then as time went on, I realized that I wanted to do this as, a business because I saw people leaving their jobs and coming home to their families, and I saw people setting the goals for that, and I started realizing as I talked to these people that they were no different than me, and that if they could do it, I could do it. And I started realizing that I was being surrounded by all these positive people that were part of our organization or part of our, challenge groups, and I became very sick and tired of negativity and negative people, and I started distancing myself from it. And then I started realizing that I didn't have to live the life that I'd been living and that I thought was all that was possible, and I could come home to my family, and that I could no longer wish that I was at mom home for the summer, and that I no longer wanted to be that mom that came home tired and screaming at my kids because I was so exhausted, because I was stressed out, because I was tired. And that thought right there was what made me push through all the hard times and all the times when I was tired or I was overwhelmed. I thought about my children, and I thought about what they deserved and about what I wanted, and that they deserved so much, and those things made me cry. Those things are what pushed me, that I didn't want to settle for a mediocre life. And still to this day, it brings tears to my eyes to think that I can't imagine if I had have given up on my dream, or if that hard work for the first 21 months of my coaching career wasn't worth it, and I gave up, and I was still working 40 hours a week and only seeing my kids, 2 hours a day, and it wasn't even quality time. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine them still riding the bus home to an empty house. I can't imagine not being able to go to their field day and their events, or going and having to be rushed to get back to work, or having to ask somebody permission. So for 21 months, I worked really hard, and I thought about their little faces, and I thought about them coming home to an empty house, and I just didn't want them to keep doing that. And that became my why. Your why should be so powerful, it should make you cry. If you don't have that why right now, don't worry. It will come in time. But tell me what your why is. I would like you to post in the comment section of this group telling me what your why is. Maybe it's the fact that you lost a parent or a grandparent at a very young age because of complications of diabetes or heart disease, or maybe it's because you can't keep up with your children and you sit on a bench at the park while you watch other moms play with their kids. Maybe it's because walking across the field to go watch one of your children at their sporting event leaves you out of breath. Maybe it's because you're so depressed because you have no physical activity going on in your life, or really no positive presence in your life that you can't get out of bed in the morning without difficulty. Maybe it's because you've been addicted to Coke or coffee, or had healthy eating habits, or unhealthy eating habits your whole entire life as a way to medicate from things that happen in your childhood. I don't know what it is, but post in the comments section below, and I really challenge you that if you have the, confidence right now, make a short video about it. 2 to 3 minutes, post it in the group or post it publicly and tag me. So that is your assignment today, and just do your best. Remember, your why doesn't have to be what somebody else's why is. Your why is unique to you, and it is just as important as mine.